What's up, everybody? Welcome to Comic Book Addicts, episode 14. Hope everybody's doing all right today. I'm doing okay. I had a rough start, but overall, I'm doing okay. Let's see who all is in the chat with us right now. I feel like the music might be a little loud. Let me take the music down. Okay, hopefully that's a little better. Let's see who we got in the comments. We have Brian LCS saying hello from New York. What's up, Brian? I hope you're doing well this evening. We got our guest tonight, Travis. He says hello from Canada. We have Tony, Comiverse. Good evening from Arkansas. What's up, Tony? I'm glad you could make it out. Let's see, we have Better Than You. Yo, Scott, what's up, man? I'm glad you made it out. Glad to see you in the chat. We have Rob, Not Near Mint. Hey, I'm on time for once. Yeah, man, you made it. Thanks for coming out. We have my brother Marcus, Circumstances. He says, what up, my dude? What's up, Marcus? I hope you're doing well, man. Let's see, we have Durs, the homie. Hello, my beautiful homies. We got Bryant, Couching and Slouching with C. Bizzle. He says, good evening, everyone. Mike, Evils Comics. What's up, man? I'm glad you could make it out. Hope you're doing well. And let's see. I'll go ahead and get into some community news because I have some stuff to share with you guys today. There we go. Community news. I want to talk a little bit for a minute about my 1K giveaway that I'm planning. I'm currently at like 923 right now, but once I hit 1K, I'm going to plan a really cool giveaway. I want to involve everybody in the community. It's going to be like an open thing for everybody. I just want everybody to come out and hang out. And I'm going to plan this really cool live. And the only thing that you have to do to be eligible for the prizes is to be at the live, be there when it happens, which that's to be announced. I'll let you guys know in the future, so stay tuned. But subscribe to my brother Marcus, Circumstances on YouTube, and be subscribed to the channel, and that's all I ask. And I don't know, hopefully I will get there sooner than later, but I wanted to show y'all some of the stuff that I'll be giving away. And these are just... I understand not everybody is a toy collector like I am, but I am going to probably add a slab and there will be comic books added to this, but I wanted to show you guys what I have so far. I have this Namor, Wakanda Forever, and these are all sealed, never been opened, so they'll have the Build-A-Figure and all the accessories, but I have Namor right there. And also have Marvel Sleepwalker. These are all really cool ones. It's got the Rintra Build-A-Figure piece in it. Nakayama art on the box. Let's see. Zombie Iron Man from What If. It's a really cool one. Got this Black Widow. This one's cool because it has a lot of extra like blast effects and stuff like that, but it also has this stand, the Hasbro stand, and that alone's, I don't know, 15 to 20 bucks. So that's pretty cool. And that's a cool Black Widow. It looks just like Scarlett Johansson. It's actually a good, sometimes the face molds are hit or miss, but this one's actually pretty good. And then last on the action figures, I have the Sentry, which is probably, I picked this one up because it's probably one of my favorite action figures that I picked up this past year from the Marvel Legends line. I was super impressed by this one. So when I was thinking of ones I wanted to pick up and give away, this was one of the first ones that I thought about. So be giving those away. And like I said, I'll be adding some comics to the mix, possibly a slab. But I'm also adding this. I haven't announced this yet, so this is exclusive. First time I'll be talking about this one. But this is the Alex Ross Marvel mural. And this is you know, everybody's collecting those villains covers right now. Well, this was from the Heroes covers. And what this is a huge cardstock poster. It's 6 foot wide and 2 foot tall, and it's the entire Alex Ross mural. So if you have a comic book room, it would be awesome for someone that had a comic room or something like that. But it does have a 2023 calendar across the bottom, but it's perforated, so it does detach, so you can just put up the mural after the year is over with. So I thought that was a pretty cool prize. I'll be adding some comics to the mix later, so stay tuned for that. 2023 CBC Awards. The nomination period will open May 13th, and that's a little less than a month away. So what I feel like everybody should be doing right now is spreading the word, just spreading the word to everybody you know, so that we can get everyone involved, so it best represents everybody in the community. And that's the only way that we're going to do it, is to get as many people involved as possible. But anyways, the nominations open May 13th. All you got to do is go to cbcawards.org. It's real simple. You just type in the names of the channels that you want to win on this really easy to fill out ballot. It's all made super simple. cbcawards.org is where you go, or you can visit the site for more information, and also the Instagram, CBC Awards on Instagram. I think the nominations run through, let's see, it's May 13th through August 6th. Okay. And Collecting with Durs, I wanted to remind everyone that he is doing his live every Sunday at 6 o'clock. Just a community hangout of just whoever wants to pop up and hang out. It's always a good time. Honestly, Adam's a really good dude. But that's every Sunday at 6 p.m. He is on the road to 900. So congratulations to Adam on that, man. I wanted to shout out a bunch of channels. We got a few channels that have hit milestones, and we have several channels that are approaching milestones that I wanted to talk about. Collecting with Durs, I was just talking about. He hit 800 and is on his way to 900. So if you're not familiar with Durs, go subscribe to his channel. He's got a really good comic book related channel. Lady Fantastic, she recently hit 700. So congratulations to Lady Fantastic. Caroline is an awesome person, a good friend of mine. And if you haven't subscribed to her, go check her channel out. It's Lady Fantastic on YouTube. TM Nerdy is like 10 away. My guest tonight, he's 10 away from 800, guys. I would love nothing more than to see TM Nerdy hit 800 before the night's up. So if any of you guys in the chat tonight have not subscribed to TM Nerdy, head over to YouTube and subscribe to him. And if one of you guys could throw up a link for him, I would appreciate it. 22 Comics is 30 away from 600. He does a lot of cool content on his channel as well. He recently did a video. He tagged me, actually. I'm going to try to do a video for that in the next day or so. Top 5 keys in my collection. That's it's going to be hard to narrow it down, but that's going to be a fun one. But check out 22 Comics. He's got a good channel over there. Couchin' and Slouchin' with C. Bizzle is creeping up on 200. He seems like he just got started a couple weeks ago, and he's already headed to 200. So congrats, Brian, on that. And he will actually be a guest on the show next week, taking Chris from Chris Loves Comics place. So thanks again for having my back on that, Brian. I appreciate it, man. Let's see. Trev, the shipping guru, he is creeping up on 600. Trev's an awesome member of the community. I like Trev a lot. If you have not subscribed to him, I highly recommend his channel. Callie Comics is 5 away from hitting 200. Callie's awesome. Callie's actually in the chat right now. So he shared a link just now for 22. But if you have not checked out Callie Comics, awesome dude. Go check him out. Let's get him to 200 tonight. I want to see him hit 200 tonight, as well as seeing TM Nerdy hit 800. If anybody ever has anything they want me to announce on the show, just hit me up through the week on Instagram. I'd be more than happy to make an announcement for you on the show. And just hit me up anytime on Instagram. And let's see. Covered next week on the show, we got Bryant Couchin' and Slouchin' with C. Bizzle. We'll be here So that's going to be a lot of fun. He is a close friend of mine, been a comic homie of mine for a couple of years. So that's going to be a good one. Let's see. April 24th, I will have Jonathan Hedrick, the writer from The Recount, Capable, Dream Master, and a bunch of other really cool titles. He's going to be on April 24th with me and the homie Marcus. That's going to be a great show. So be sure that you stay tuned for that one. That's April 24th. So I think I've ran my mouth enough. I want to bring out tonight's guest. I'm excited to talk to Travis. Tonight's guest, he's a really cool member of the comic book community. I've known him for a couple years now. Really cool guy. He's an avid comic book collector as well. He also has an awesome YouTube channel by the name of TM Nerdy, and is one half of the Between the Lines crew. So everybody help me welcome Travis to the show. What's going on, man?
Hello, everybody.
How are you, dude?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for inviting me tonight, Scott.
Thanks for coming out and hanging out with me. So what you been up to today, man? You been having a good day so far?
It's been a tiresome day. I worked 8 to 4 and then just came home. I was like, well, I have a busy night ahead of me, so I'm going to take a nap. So I'm just kind of waking up a little bit. So,
well, tell us a little bit about yourself for anybody at home that might not be familiar with Travis, TM Nerdy. Who are you? Where are you from?
well, I'm a Canadian from Prince Edward Island. That's just before Newfoundland. It's kind of really close. It's on its own island between Nova Scotia and Newfoundland. Pretty small little area. I'm just an average guy. Like to read comics, mostly DC. Love my Spawn figures. That's why I think Durs is kind of like taking inspiration from me. So he's like the little mini me, because that's how I started with reading the Spawn, and that I used to do a Spawn compendium show with somebody when I first got into YouTube. It was like right when I was like starting YouTube. It was on their channel and stuff. And I collect Spawn figures. I don't have them displayed yet, but that's coming soon once I get things organized a little bit more. But I grew up with DC comics, and that not just the comics itself, but like they're everywhere for me. Like the Batman animated series, then you had Teen Titans that came out, the darker Teen Titans, the Justice League cartoon, then you had the Legion of Superheroes cartoon, then Justice League Unlimited. So it's just like everywhere I looked, it was I grew up with DC, so I'm more fascinated with DC. I grew up with a lot of the characters. I'm sorry for all you Marvel fans, but I'll watch the movies, but I don't like to read the comics. Except I do collect the what ifs.
Okay. Now, what I was actually going to ask you, when did comic books first come in the picture for you? I like to ask everybody that. I like to hear early childhood memories of comic books and how they entered your life or had a place in your life. What are some of the earliest memories that you have of comic books? How did they come into your life?
Well, back in the day, like this is why a few people, like a lot of people that really know me, know that it all started with Shadowhawk. And Shadowhawk it's nostalgic for me. Just like I never read the stories, but I looked through the pictures. It was fascinating to me. And it's when comics were actually sold in grocery stores. And while I was waiting for my mom in a grocery store, getting all of her stuff, it would be right beside the cash register, and I just flipped through the pages. At that time, I know like my friends, brothers and stuff were into Spawn. They had the Spawn comics and that, but I was a little timid. So I was just like, I don't want to look at that, even though like here's Shadowhawk breaking people's backs. But it was just a lot darker for me to even flip through Spawn. So it always fascinated me how the look of Shadowhawk was, and the characters and how it was drawn. And that's why I like Jim Valentino. Jim Valentino is like, just because of that nostalgic factor of how he drew things. I love Jim Valentino.
So, and you mentioned you were also into DC. What were some of the earlier DC titles that got you hooked?
I'd have to say Batman and Robin. Like I have the full collection of Batman and Robin. And then I also love the Outsiders by Judd Winnick. I have like a complete run of that as well. So that's how I got fascinated with like Black Lightning, and just these characters throughout those stories. and that's why I like Damian Wayne. Damian Wayne is like, he was pretty good in Batman and Robin.
So he's your favorite at all the Robins?
I do like Tim Drake because he's more of a detective than anything. He's like the truest detective out of the Robins. So I like Tim Drake a little bit more than Damian, but Damian is a close second.
Okay. Now, have you just always been into comic books, or was there a point in your life where you're like me and you kind of moved on and then you ended up coming back at a certain point?
Definitely, I came back in a certain point, and that was like the last few years. And like, this is the thing, like, for me to get comics, I have to order them or go way out of my way to get them. And
Okay.
everybody around here, even like a girl I was seeing at the time, I was like, love it. Like, this is the point of Iron Man. When Iron Man 2 was coming out, it's like, oh, I want to see this and that. And she was looking at me, she's like, grow up, like, that's for kids. So like, that always stuck with me for a little bit, like, oh, maybe I'm acting like a kid, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. But then I just got over it and stuff, and I just love some of these comics, some of these characters, especially like from characters I met from Justice League Unlimited. It's like, I want to get more into those, and I'm still learning today, because I know Katie just mentioned Animal Man. Animal Man didn't come into my life until September, and I got read Jeff Lemire's run on Animal Man. That just blew my mind. A character that's self-contained, not really part of the wider picture in DC, but part of the darker sides of DC, and really connects with Swamp Thing. I just fell in love with that character.
That's really cool. Now, you mentioned you had a period in your life where you were away from comics, and me and you were talking about a little bit behind backstage, because I didn't want to bring it up unless you were comfortable talking about it. But you are actually, a lot of people might not know this, but you're actually a former addict yourself.
Yeah, I'm 5 years clean, and that it was a rough time for me. In that it was just me trying to. Sometimes family's not the good thing. Like, family that's blood. Sometimes you got to create your own family in that, and me trying to get closer with some of my family on my dad's side didn't work out, because they were, even though it took months for me to even try it, they just kind of gradually started doing meth, and then did the meth and that, and just got off of it for a while, and then came back to it, got off of it, and then really opened my eye when like somebody was trying to get me to sell for them. And so I just started doing it, because it wasn't just because like I wanted to make money. It was like, oh, I'm because for the longest time in life, I felt useless. I felt like I didn't matter in life. This is a person that actually thinks like he would bring me up and like say, oh yeah, you're great and stuff. Yeah. But really what he was trying to do is use me.
Exactly.
And
isn't that weird though? Like, I don't know. I've been in the same exact situation that you're talking about. And I don't know, you're being used. I don't know. It's just such a crazy, it's part of the insanity of it.
It's a good feeling. Like, you're just like, oh, they
appreciate you. You almost feel like they appreciate you, even though you know that you're probably being used. And I don't know. It's just,
it's not even rock bottom, because like I was doing really good, like had a nice car and stuff, and I didn't hit rock bottom. Well, what was I scared about was I didn't want to keep doing it. Like, at the time too, I had a friend who I kept selling to and stuff, and he got sick and got in the hospital. And I just like, my like heart just like, I couldn't take it anymore. I was like, I can't, I don't agree with this. And that I just kind of stopped altogether. I tried to get away, but this is what I'd say. Like, it's not cool to be part of a gang, and that this guy held me for 13 hours.
Yeah.
And like, he held me and then would be like, why are you trying to escape? You're trying to do that. It's like, no, I gave you the money, that you're good. I don't owe you and stuff. And then he's like, oh, you're trying to jump ship, go work for somebody else. I was like, no, I'm just trying to stop altogether and stuff. And then he'd be all nice. And in 13 hours, this is what's crazy. And it's rough. I have scars like on my nose and stuff. Some people who will meet me in, at Comic-Con in Toronto will see it, like Drac and stuff. But he held me, been nice to me, then crack. Like, this 13 hours, it's like within 13 hours, he hit me 4 times, but it was spanned out. So I'd feel like had my guard down and stuff. And it was a little rough. I did deal with a little bit of PTSD for last little bit. And that's why I love this community and stuff, because like I was self-contained. I didn't go out anywhere. I didn't do anything and stuff. So I wasn't able to talk with anybody. So this community helped me in that way, so I can actually communicate and talk. Because if you were to talk to me like 3 years ago, I wouldn't be talking to you like this.
Yeah.
Like I'd be a little bit hesitant and timid and stuff, but now I'm opening up and stuff, and it feels good to talk about it and stuff. And it does feel good to talk to people. And this community has actually brought me a lot of friendship. So,
well, and when you talk about it, you help others, and you never know who you might help at home that might see something that you have to say. And the reason I wanted to talk about this with you in particular is because I feel like you're one of those people in the community that everybody likes. You're going to shake your head no, but everybody likes Travis. Travis is an awesome dude. I'm going to give you a little bit of praise, and congrats on the 5 years. That is amazing. But I wanted to say, like, everybody knows that you're a great guy and everybody sees you for what you are today. But to know what you came from, it's possible for anybody to turn it around, and you're never too far gone. And if I don't see, like, if you would have, I don't see it in you now. All I see is an awesome person today.
I'm glad you brought that up, because it does. It, like, if I look back at that person who I was and stuff, that person's a stranger. I don't know who that person is and stuff. It feels like it almost feels like it was a dream, but it wasn't. Like, you're just like, it doesn't feel like it was actually real.
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean. Like, none of you guys, the few of you that like me now, none of y'all would have liked me back then. Like, I would have stole your shit and helped you look for it. Like, I was a bad person. But yeah, anybody can change. And 5 years, that's crazy, man. That's you've come a long way.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, the community has helped. The community has helped, because like I would have been, as much as like I wasn't talking about it or I wasn't sharing what was happening, I was still able to talk with people. I wasn't like sitting alone in a corner by myself. I was able to take up what I love, read what I love, but also talk about what I love, and just have good friends. Like, I want to shout out Mike. Me and Mike used to talk like all the time in that and stuff. And we still do quite a bit in that. And me and Roscoe, we always talk all the freaking time. So it's just, you grow friendships, like, and it's really cool too, because it's, like I said, I'm all the way here in Canada. Roscoe's in Florida.
Yep.
But like, it's like we're talking all the time. We're the best of friends and that. And sometimes we're just talking on the phone. We're just sitting there. We're like, so what's up? Nothing. And we're doing our own thing, but we're on the phone with each other like we're in the same room, which is cool.
Dude, I love this community, man. I don't know what I would do without it. There's been so many times when, like, I've turned to you guys for I mean, this is part of my support system now. It's part of my recovery circle, and it's really been a really good thing. But I want to talk to you a little bit about your channel, man. What got the TM Nerdy channel started? What gave you the idea?
Gave me the idea is I did not know what I was doing. If you go, I didn't delete any of my videos, but you could definitely tell if you go back and see some of my earlier videos, I didn't know what I was doing. And I never had a plan to do YouTube at all. Like, that was not my wheelhouse. What it was is, like, I wanted to get more involved in comics and figure out where to go from comics and that, and what I should be reading and what's good now and that, and possibly where I could get comics. Cause like I had a hard time, like I said, getting comics where I was. For the longest time I was using eBay just to get like weekly comics until
that sucks.
So like I found Bueller, and then from Bueller I found a few other channels and stuff, and they all knew me after a while. Like, even Comics Will Break Your Heart and stuff would be, would just freaking know me in that. And I was like, you know what? I want to get closer to the comic community, closer than I am now. And so I started a channel, and I'm glad I did, because like all those people I started watching, or like watched for a while, I got on my channel. Like, I had Bueller on my channel. I've talked with Bueller quite a bit. Comics Will Break Your Heart's been on my channel. I've been on her channel. Greg Weird Comic Bro is another one. Fire Guy Ryan, me and Fire Guy Ryan are close.
Really cool guy.
So I was able, yeah, he's freaking amazing. So I was able to get closer to these people, and that was like the part. Like I was never like, oh, I want to get subs and stuff. No, I want to get more involved with this community, and that was the best way. So Bobby Delgado was the reason why I started chatting with the comic community, because like I've talked to him offhand, like we video chat on Instagram for a while. And I was like, dude, you're a very interesting guy. Like I want to sit down and talk with you. And that was just a one-off show that I was going to do that sprung into 70 plus episodes now.
Dude, that's crazy, man. And you do all different types of content on your channel. What would you say is your favorite type of content to create?
I would have to say chatting with the comic community, but Between the Lines has become fun. Like I get to do that with Roscoe, and that it's fun every single week, and we bring on guests and we just have a great time. Like we don't take ourselves too seriously. Like anybody that comes into the chat, we always ask their questions, and it's like just as much as their show as it is ours, because the chat is so involved in Between the Lines. So it's just great. And I appreciate everybody coming in and doing at home art. But chatting with the comic community, I find, and I'm going to get you on the episode, it's more intimate for me because it's not live. It's just me and another person sitting and recording an episode. And it's not edited and stuff. And it's just us having a conversation. It usually starts normal, and then it just gradually just starts talking about random stuff. And we just have a great time. Usually keep it to an hour, but I get very, very close with that person, get to know them a little bit more. And like half the time when we end the show, we're backstage for another hour talking. So it's really cool because like I don't have to worry about the chat. I could just talk with that one person. Nothing against the chat, but like I like to be intimate with my guests on Chatting with the Comic Community.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're giving up their time to spend with you. You want to, show your respect to them. Now, what is your favorite type of content to watch? I know I have my favorite types that I love to watch. What are some of your favorite types of content to watch?
It's harder for me because like I do. That's a rough one because like I'm watching a bunch of random stuff now. Like I'm watching trailer reactions. I'm watching Christian Harloff with the he does a show and stuff, and he talks about the news that's happening and stuff. And that's where I get most of my news. But like I do like watching haul videos. Haul videos are my favorite to watch because I like to see what people are picking up in that. And then I do like interview shows as well to get to know people a little bit more in that, like Brian's 411.
That's always a good one. Yeah. And the Breakfast with Brian's are great too.
See, I always miss those because like I'm either at work or what have you. So I'm always just like, I try to catch it, but like I try to comment on it, but I'm never able to watch it like live. So I'm just like,
that sucks, man. Yeah, because I love the Saturdays with Breakfast with Brian because it's like my regrouping for the week. I got Saturdays off. I get to get up with my son and sit around, make breakfast, and get up with the community. So it's pretty cool. I enjoy that a lot. Dude, you're less than 10 subs from 800, man. That's freaking awesome. Out here killing it, dude. What are some plans for the channel? What do you have coming up on the TM Nerdy channel?
Well, some more chatting with the comic community. I do have to. I do want to like start this. I still get nervous to this day about how I'm going to do stuff and that. Too. Like, and talking about comics, I feel like I'm not that good at. But I want to start this thing that's called like getting to know the New 52, and it's just me kind of like editing a video and me just kind of talking about the issue as it flips through with photos and stuff. Not really like talking about the comic and that, and just seeing if people are interested, not only them interested in checking out something from the New 52, but it's me like checking out something new. Cause that's what Animal Man was the New 52. And the New 52 gets a lot of hate for like some ongoing readers, the readers like veteran readers. They like stay away from the New 52. They gave it a bad name, and but there is some good issues from the New 52. So I want to like figure out which ones are
Yeah.
while sharing that with the community. Kind of want to do that, but I haven't really started it yet. But what I want to do is at least get 3 episodes done, ready, recorded, edited, and up on the channel. Like just put them up there, and
Yeah.
then before I start anything. But that's really what I want to do. I've been talking about it for about a month now. I just got to finally just do it.
Yeah,
But
man. I think
it's the nerves. It's the nerves that really get me and stuff like with actually doing it. But being on at week's end with Legion of Comics and that, like I'm going to be a regular over there. Just this past Sunday, I was very tired and I really needed sleep, so I wasn't able to be on the show. But
yeah.
I'll be a regular on Legion of Comics channel going every Sunday, and it's really helped me express myself a little bit more, talking about comics I read this week and the
That's
shows I've
awesome.
watched.
And what time is that on Sundays?
Usually 8:30. No, trying to think what time it is Eastern. It's usually about I think it's about 9:30 Eastern, but I think he's going earlier now, 8:30 Eastern. I could be wrong though, just because I'm an hour later than Eastern. I think I usually start at 9:30. I think it's 9:30 we usually start, so 8:30 their time.
Okay. Now, you are one half of the Between the Lines show. How did that come to fruition? How did that come to be?
That was just a fluke, really. It had no planning, no whatsoever in that. It was just um, I was supposed to be on the show for quite a while. I can't draw, but I was supposed to be on the show with Cardboard Crazies, who's one of the founders of Between the Lines, also the founder of Comics Cure Cancer.
Uh-huh.
And Geek Out with Roscoe were always trying to get me on, but something always happened. Either I was busy, or Chris was busy, or Roscoe was busy. And then they finally invited me on, and then Chris was like, I'm pretty sure it was like Chris's idea. Roscoe can correct me if I'm wrong, but he said, why don't we just invite Travis to be the third? And then, so they were like, yeah, let's do it. And they invited me on. I was able to keep track of the chat and shout out people. And then Cardboard Crazies had a baby. So congratulations to him. So it took up a lot of
Yeah,
his time. He's out there being a dad. So
it usually
um,
does.
I just was in there full time, and now I have full control over the chat. Like me and Roscoe have a shared StreamYard now, so I can control the chat, play the clips, do all I need to do, and so it just gradually grew from there. And that's when we started adding some features to the show, like at-home editions. They were able to send me the at-home editions. I was able to show them. Gave Roscoe more time to sit down and actually draw his picture during the show, while I kept track of the chat, because he always had that issue. Like it was hard always having to look up, and they weren't able to engage with the chat as much. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why he's so happy that I'm there. And yeah, the at-home editions, the chats. Then it gradually started having. Screw you, CJ. I just don't highlight your questions. And then yeah, we had people ask the questions from home. Like I just go ahead and star them if they have a queue in front of it, because sometimes the chat goes fast. So I
Yeah,
have a
it
queue in
does.
front of it just so I can capture it right quick and then highlight it and then go through it. And a lot of people, they're like, "Oh, you haven't got to my question." You have no idea how fast everybody's asking questions. And Callie asked like 10 questions right in a row. Here
He
I
does.
am looking at give you guys an idea. It says private chat comments and then starred comments. And then it has a number beside the star comments, and it's usually about 27. So I'm just like I'm just like going through it. I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna get to your question in a fashionable manner.
Now, I love how interactive the show is. I feel like you do a really good job controlling the crowd for as fast as that comment section is moving. Cause like you guys really get a lot of interaction over there. And you do like that comment that comment section is moving quick. And I love the at home editions that everybody does. Just such a really cool show. And you two have great chemistry together. You work together really well. It seems to flow really well together. Let's see. What did I have? I had some more about. Okay. You guys do the themed shows, right? What are some of the
Yes.
favorite themes that you have done on the show? What are some of your favorites? Just some that stick out to you.
And I hate that this one sticks out too because I'm not a fan of Lord of the Rings. But it was the what was that? It was the Morphic type of hot dogs. It was when Lady Fantastic was on. I
remember that.
It's just such a weird concept, and I was just like, that really stuck out to me. But like, I'm not a fan of Lord of the Rings, but I actually absolutely love that. I love when people like combine things. Like we just had 22 on, and he wanted TMNT as a Marvel characters or Marvel characters as TMNT. I like the mashups. I like the amalgam type of thing. So it's not just like a standard thing.
That is pretty cool. Yeah, I like the amalgams also. I think we did Spider-Punk when I was there, the Earth 138, which that was a fun one. That was a pretty fun theme. Who's the guest tonight? You want to talk about the guest over there tonight a little bit? Y'all got a good one.
He's not that big of a person. He's just an average type of guy. He's just done he co-wrote with Colin Bunn on Earth. He's done the art inside of Twig. We got Kyle Stram coming over to Roscoe's channel. He'll be over on Roscoe's channel tonight, and the theme is 80s robots.
That'll be an awesome theme with an awesome guest, man. I loved the inner artwork on Twig. This is beautiful.
Yeah, it was. Now we just need to get Todd Knock on, and then I'll be happy.
Yeah, I still can't get Nakayama to respond to my messages. He's probably going to.
Neither can
I. I'll probably get a protective order put out on me or something. But hey, I tried though. Can't say I didn't try.
Yeah, all you need to do is try, because like 9 times out of 10, they'll say yes. Because like I did that earlier on. It's rough though. I did that earlier on in my channel. It was like, you know what? How about I pick 5 people and ask them to come on? I was just like, not one is going to say yes. 4 out of the 5 said yes. I was just wow. Oh shit. Now I got to actually like set up these streams and do it. That's how I got together with Trish Forstner. This was way before. This was like, I think issue 1 of Stray Dogs was out.
Oh wow.
So issue
really
1
really hot.
Yeah. So I was able to talk with her and like have that friendship with her. Like it's been. That's why I remember you asking like, that's crazy. Like, how'd you get her? And I was like, oh, I've known her for a year. Like I've known her since Stray Dogs, the beginning of Stray Dogs. So I was able to talk to her.
I love Trish.
I'm a huge Beast Wars fan. Beast Wars I grew up with, the TV show. I'm super pumped for Rise of the Beast. I was able to get Eric Burnham on. If you go back and watch that, my like voice was cracking, and you could tell I was super nervous talking with him, because I just appreciated what he took my childhood and actually brought it to the comics, and like he made it like perfect. So I had such an appreciation for him.
I can't say that I blame you. I would feel the same way, man. So, what can we expect from you guys over there in the future? Do you have anything coming up that you want to talk about? Any cool guests coming up in the future?
We have a ton of cool guests coming up in the future. Like we have like Kyle Stram's going to be one of them. We might have. I don't want to give too much away, but we do have another person coming on in the future. He's not an artist, but he is a writer, who I know and Roscoe ran into, and it's going to be really fun. He has a really cool idea that he has to do. I kind of want Roscoe to announce it, but we always have amazing guests always jumping on with us, and I plan to ask a couple of artists that I meet in the future, because I'm always asking like community artists, because I want to get them out there as well, because it's really cool to see how much amazing artists like Callie is a great artist, Norn Rad, fantastic artist.
Dude, these
Like,
guys
if you
blow
guys
me away. Some of these guys on y'all show that do the at-home drawings blow me away, man. It's crazy.
And that's what we want. Like, I want that to continue growing. Like, even Mike is a great artist. Matt, Comics by the Bay, is a great artist. He hasn't drawn anything lately for the at-home editions. Looking at you, Matt, Sir Matthew. Drac is a great artist.
Philtastic's a really good artist.
We're gonna have to reach out to him. But like, there's a bunch of artists actual artists I want to get on, like Todd Knock. Like, Todd Knock's been one of my new favorite artists. Like, he's been drawing Stargirl, and like Trev knows this. Like, Trev is I absolutely love Stargirl since the show. I've read the earlier issues from Stargirl. I have Stargirl's first appearance.
Nice.
The Stargirl, The Lost Children right now, like, Roscoe looks at me, he's like, I think Todd Knock was meant to draw Stargirl. I was like, yes. Like, I'm not a fan of the floating heads variants he does, Todd Knock, but yeah, Todd Knock drawing Stargirl and all those characters is just unbelievably great.
He does a great job on Stargirl. I do remember seeing the covers and stuff that he did for Stargirl, and they were good. And not as big a fan. I'm like you. I'm not as big a fan on the Knock headshots, but I mean, he does great art though. Well, going back to comic book collecting, man, what are some of your favorite artists?
Mentioned one, Todd Knock. Zerdy is becoming like one of my new favorite ones.
Okay.
I've been loving his work because like I'm a fan of Art Germ. Nakayama is pretty good. Trish Forstner is amazing.
Yes.
But like I said, Jim Valentino was one of the best for me. And then Todd McFarlane was great. And it's just, Todd McFarlane is just fantastic. Greg Capullo, fantastic as well.
Always.
So
he's still pumping out heat after all these years, man. That's crazy. Well, what are some of the... Sorry, man. Go ahead.
No, it's just like he's pumping out heat and he's pumping heat. You see his arms lately?
Oh, hell yeah. He's ripped, dude.
He's a freaking huge.
Tree trunk arms. Yeah. What are some writers that you're into?
Writers? I don't like writers. No. Writers right now, Jeff Johns is killing it with Stargirl and Justice Society of America. Joshua Williamson, just killing it. Superman. If you guys are not reading Superman, like the new issues of Superman with Joshua Williamson, it's just unfreaking believably great.
I've heard a lot of good stuff about that.
Yeah, I'm absolutely loving everything. Like, Joshua Williamson's probably, like, I remember Mark saying something along the lines of like he could be like the next Jeff Johns for DC.
Well, what are some titles, like what are some runs that you're on right now that you're currently enjoying that you would recommend?
I'm liking Danger Street by Tom King.
Okay, I haven't read
Danger Street. It's a DC title. It's taking some of the characters. Like, I never knew half the characters that were in this book, and the reason being is because they're part of the DC first issue specials back in the day. Okay. And they're like one and done characters. Like, you have a character named Lady Cop in there. You have the Dingbats. You have the Green Team. You just have these one-off characters, and it's just working. It's just freaking amazing how this is flowing in. It may, like, I'll agree with Taylor Winder, and this is the only time I'll agree with Taylor Winder. But it might be better to read in trade, like, all at once.
Okay.
Because it does, like, it deals with not just one character, but a bunch of characters, and it weaves through their story in each issue. So but it all comes together. Even though it's like a single story that they're telling about each character, it all connects. Just like Heroes, if you remember, it's like it all connects.
Mm-hmm.
Each story. So I'm loving that. I'm loving the Dead Boy Detectives. Got brought back. It was a Neil Gaiman stories from back in the day, and it's about these two kids, two dead boys that are detectives, and that it's got brought back in. It's very interesting and definitely not for kids.
Is that part of the Sandman? Is that like a Sandman spinoff,
Yeah,
or is it?
yeah,
Okay.
it's part of the Sandman universe. The Dead Boy Detectives were introduced. I want to say issue 26 of the Sandman.
Okay. Cool.
So the original run of Sandman, but it is part of the Sandman universe. So I'm super excited for them coming back too. Like they're getting a series on Netflix,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm super excited.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to check that out. I haven't read much of the Sandman, admittedly. Like, I'm not real into that whole, but I don't know, man. I kind of want to check it out though.
Do it, do it. The best thing to do is if you have Audible.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I've consumed Sandman in three different ways: the TV show, the Audible version, which is like uh, Morpheus Dream is voiced by James McAvoy in that. And I've read the comic. I haven't read all the comic, like I'm not caught up fully on the comic, but I've watched the show, listened to Act 1, Act 2, Act 3 of The Sandman,
Yeah.
and absolutely love it. And it's really cool to get delved into that world because it's like it's a whole like that's why it's called the Sandman universe because there's so much in this universe than just um, Dream Morpheus. There's so many great, amazing characters, and it's so great to get involved in. Have you like check out the show? Like the comic is a little different because they did take out certain characters like John Jones, Etrigan the Demon, um, um, Mister Miracle, like Scott Free. He's not. They're not in it because it's too tied with DC,
Uh-huh.
the Netflix show, but it was just fantastic.
Dude, so you said it's on Netflix now, or it's coming to
Yeah,
Netflix?
no, the first season's on Netflix.
Okay.
It's going to get a season 2, and then the Dead Boy Detectives is going to be coming to Netflix as well. I'm not sure if it's going to be connected, but it's fantastic. It's like probably one of the best shows like adapted from Neil Gaiman because
Okay.
like you have the Good Omens, you have what's that other one? I actually watched it too. I can't think of it now, but you have the Good Omens and that on Amazon Prime, which was like a Neil Gaiman book.
Yeah.
But the Sandman, he had like a lot of say of what happens in the book in the show.
Well, it sounds pretty cool. I'm definitely going to go over and check it out. Speaking of Netflix series and movies and such, you saw the Mario Brothers movie the other day. I noticed you did a video on your channel. How was it, man?
I absolutely loved it. Like, I know critics are giving it bad, terrible reviews and that, but like, this is like the point in time where critics are giving it low reviews and the audience has high reviews on it. Like, yes, the story was a little silly and kind of standard. It wasn't like an out there type of story, but it was still fun. The animation was great. The voice acting was like on par. Like
Okay.
Chris Pratt killed it as Mario. Um,
So that's kind of
Seth
surprising
Rogen,
to me. I was wondering how well that was going to work.
yeah, it worked perfectly. I think the one that doesn't get a lot of love, like, is Keegan Michael Key as Toad. Like that surprised me. Like not the fact that like I knew he'd be good, but the
Mhm.
fact that if you were to watch the movie and go into it not knowing who that voice actor is,
Yeah.
who's voicing Toad, you would never guess Keegan Michael Key. Like he killed it as Toad.
What else are you looking forward to in 2023 as far as like music, movie, comics, anything coming out that you're looking forward to?
Well, Doom Patrol's already here, the comic, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Um, can't think of any other comics. I'm super excited for Steelworks. I forget who's it written by, but it's another Superman title coming out dealing with steel.
Oh, cool. They're
John.
bringing him back. Has he been back?
Yeah, he's been back a few times in that, and then he's also in the Superman and Lois TV show. So it'd be cool to see him coming back at Steelworks. I'm definitely excited for that comic. As for movies, I'm excited for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I already have my ticket for it.
Nice.
So I think that'll be like one of the last Marvel movies I see in theaters, just because I love James Gunn and what he does. Another movies I'm excited for, The Flash. It's another one.
That looks
like
good.
I know like a lot of people are like, oh no, it's like I'm not gonna go see it, but I'm gonna definitely go see it in theaters.
What about Blue Beetle? What about it?
Oh, I know Drac is in the chat right now. I want to ask Drac right now if he wants to go see. I know it'll be out, like we'll have to like avoid spoilers and stuff, but if he's up for it, any other Canadians that are going to Toronto Fan Expo, if you guys want to go to the movie theaters in Toronto during maybe like Friday night or Thursday night when I get to Toronto, because it's August 24th to 27th. I'll be leaving on the 27th though. If you guys want to go see Blue Beetle, I would definitely want to go check it out in Toronto. Definitely want to see that with a few people from the con if they haven't seen it. Blue Beetle looks freaking fantastic though.
It does. It does look good. I'm excited about that one.
And Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. Like I have to go see that, and I don't have to, but like, I think it looks amazing. Like I know it's not a like an adaptation from the cartoon. I knew it wasn't going to be, but what they're planning on doing with it and what it looks like, I'm absolutely definitely going to see Transformers: Rise of the Beasts.
Have you always been a Transformers fan?
Beast Wars fan more. Just because like when the cartoon came out, I was like 7 or 8, and it was like computer generated. It was a Canadian show, and I just absolutely loved it. I loved animals, so just seeing these animals turning into Transformers and that, and I was a little too young to get into the actual Transformers. So when this came along, this was my Transformers, and this is why me and Fire Guy Ryan get along, because we're both Beast Wars fans.
Hey, dude, I have a cool little story about Beast Wars. The guy that actually drew up my YouTube logo did a variant cover for Transformer Beast Wars this past year. Andy Duggan.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's who I commissioned to do my YouTube channel logo. So yeah, he actually did a cover for Transformer Beast Wars.
That's awesome. Was it an incentive cover?
I want to say it was like cover D. I still have it. I have a copy of it signed. I'll show you one day. But
all right.
But dude, man, let's see. We got like 5 minutes. Is there anything you want to talk about before you have to jump over to Between the Lines?
No, just read what you like. Like guys, like don't stick with one genre. Expand your search, because like I know I stick to like mostly DC and some indies, but like there's always great titles. Don't like try to just stick with like one title and be like one publisher and be like, I'm a DC guy or I'm a Marvel guy. Expand a little bit. As much as I give Roscoe a hard time for collecting Marvel and picking up Marvel, and I think I do with you too. Like some of the toys you were showing off, I was like, not enough DC.
Yep.
I'm just joking around with you and stuff. Like always read what you want, and collect what you want. Cause like, especially for me, I'm not in it to anything I'm buying. Like I'm look at the market or something to get a certain title I need. It's not to like for resale option. It's to get in my collection forever. So I'm not really like, I hate selling. Like I've sold a few books before, but then I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
It's not only that. It's just like, I don't like going to the post office. So like, it's like, I'll just keep it. And then so that really made me like think like, you know what, I'm gonna make sure that I'm just gonna get comics that I want in my collection, even back issues and that. Like I want them in my collection. So like I even got like the DC app where I can read comics on that app without
Kind of
actually
like
picking them up.
it's kind of like Marvel Unlimited, but DC.
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
and so like even though like Stargirl I pick up physical, but I read on that app, and I get to read it early because it's an exclusive on there, and it comes out a week early for me. So I get to read it a week early. So any of you Stargirl fans, I'm not gonna. Stargirl's almost done anyway, but so I just don't overdo it. You don't need everything. I know that there's a bunch of comic boxes behind me. They're not all full. They're separated in certain categories and what I want to collect. And then these ones are just actually empty. They're just extra boxes there. Just collect what you need. You don't need everything, and you don't need to get that next sexy cover for $200.
Well, dude, I wanted to thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me tonight and sharing a little bit of your personal story with everybody. I really thought that was cool of you to do. You didn't have to, but you did it anyways, and I really appreciate you for that. And excuse me, I wanted to congratulate you also on being over 5 years clean. I think that's an amazing thing. I think that you have become a really, really cool person who I have a lot of respect for, and really glad that I got to hang out with you here tonight.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you inviting me on and talking with me and that. And I appreciate everybody in the chat as well. Thank you guys for listening to my story.
Well, everybody, head over to TM Nerdy's channel real quick before you go to Between the Lines and make sure you're subbed to him. He is less than 10 away from 800. Let's try to get him to 800 tonight. I don't see why we couldn't get him to 800 tonight. So head on over there and hit subscribe if you're not subbed to TM Nerdy, and then jump over to Geek Out with Roscoe for Between the Lines here in about 7 minutes. It's going to be him and TM Nerdy, and they're going to have an amazing guest on. Tell them who the guest is again.
Our guest is none other than Kyle Strand.
Yeah, he did interiors on Twig. I'm sure you guys know Twig at home. But thanks, man. Thanks for all you guys that came out to watch the show again. Next week, I'll be back with Bryant from Couchin and Slouchin with C. Bizzle. It's going to be a great show. But for now, head on over to Geek Out with Roscoe for the Between the Lines show. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.